It's a really misty, cold day. It's early April, well, middle of April actually, it's the 11th. And this is at Bretch locks. And it's a series of 3 locks. It's not a staircase lock, but they've got a tiny pound in between each lock. So it's going to be interesting going through this tomorrow morning. We come back to the boat for a couple of days, see if it's okay, and just do a bit of cruising while we can, because we're getting bored now of unpacking boxes and taking down shelves, putting up pictures, etc, etc. So we're back on the cut again. Great bit of canal architecture, and the lock sluice paddles are colour coordinated, so there's instructions as seen in the last little clip on how to open them. So apparently you have to open these blue ones first before opening the ones at the end to fill up. I don't know, we'll work it out. But it's going to be an interesting little journey. So here comes Fran coming into the top lock at the 3 locks at Bretch. Really close locks together. So the lock keeper's down in the middle, and bottom lock helping somebody else out. So we can't empty this lock until the lock below has its paddles up. There's the lock keeper writing our number down. So here we are in the middle. Fran's coming into the middle lock, and under the bridge, that's the size of the pound between the locks, so you just treat it as 3 separate locks. And the grey day that was supposed to be has turned out into a absolutely peeing down day, but never mind. Keeper with his brolly, waiting to open the paddle a bit. Here she comes out of the 2nd lock into the 3rd. She gave it a good crunch though when she went into the 1st lock. She's rather pleased that I didn't film it. Absolutely beautiful canal architecture here. The attention to detail in the railings, just wouldn't see it these days. Everything has to be utilitarian and functional. In the Victorian times they took a bit of pride in detail of their architecture. I think so anyway. That's it. That's the last lock at Bretch flight. Really enjoyed that. Big thanks to the lock keeper, who was very pleasant and helpful. So, on our way to the next lock. Just a short couple of hours cruising today, because we've got to go back again to the house and do some bloody decorating, etc.
Evening.
Cheers.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, what's today, friend?
It's your birthday.
It's my birthday.
It's been telling me for the last 3 days it's your birthday.
I got nice presents. Eels t-shirts, a band, and tickets to see the Eels in July in London.
Hopefully I can go as well.
Yeah, who else is coming then?
Well, I don't know.
What a week.
We always say that. It's been a real packed it in again week. Went back to the cottage. How did she get out?
Jess.
Dog's just jumped out the side hatch of the boat apparently, because we've locked her in and she's managed to leave.
Better go and see if Jess. Archie's alright.
Hello. No, it's right. We put our one in the boat and she's obviously jumped out the side hatch. I didn't know she could do that.
Yeah, I think because he was being nosy, she jumped out.
That's another lesson learned.
Yes, it wasn't fun.
A lesson learnt.
Unbelievable.
Before it's too late. Just better watch that on the side, on the water side now. We'll have to. Because she'll be splashing in the canal, won't she?
That means we can't have the side hatch open when we're cruising along.
Okay. So yeah, we've packed it in again this week. Went back to our cottage at the beginning, or nearly a week ago, intending to spend 4 or 5 days painting and decorating. Did quite a lot of stuff. Lovely, beautiful village. Within 2 days we watched a funeral session go down past the house, all the church bells ringing, and then a wedding procession went down the road, bride and bridesmaids all just walking along the street. We were invited to the wedding evening for a drink, which was really lovely, so friendly. But we've come back to the boat. Well, it was intentionally only for 3 days, but it looks like it's going to be nearly a week now, because we don't want to go back to the cottage again, do we?
No.
And the weather is just glorious.
It is absolutely fantastic. We've had, I say absolutely fantastic all the time, don't I?
Yes.
It's been brilliant. We've had such a cold spell, such a cold, long winter. Everything's so slow to open up the trees. You know, it's middle of April. It's my birthday today, and the trees are still bare, almost, just coming into bud, which is unbelievable. But we're gardeners. In the past, that's what we've done for a living, and we've noticed that some daffodils that should be flowering in May are now in flower, and some daffodils that should have been flowering in March are still in flower, so it's weird.
You heard your first cuckoo.
Yeah, the first cuckoo the other morning at Wombourne, just outside Wombourne. We're now at Kinver, which is a beautiful little village stroke town, and we've had the most fantastic cruise today. We have only done 4 miles, and it has absolutely been gorgeous, and we've just loved every minute of today. And look at this now. You know, we are so blessed.
But we're aiming only to do about 4 miles, 5 miles on a cruising day anyway. and just take our time. I don't think we rarely reach walking pace, do
No,
we?
we just pootle along. You know, we go slower than people do when they're passing us, and then they crank it to get, once they've passed us, to get going, you know. And obviously they've got places to be, but we don't, so we are lucky in that respect.
And in the future, at the moment, we're still having to be places on deadlines, which isn't what we're wanting to be like. So in the future, we're just going to poodle along. If we see a village or a mooring spot we like, we're just going to stop and hoping to do some proper walking, big walks, see the views, learn a little bit about the history of the towns that we're going through, and just really take our time over it. At the moment, that's not really happening because we have to be places, but that's okay, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. We did our first staircase locks. There's only 2 of them.
What? I had a bit of a moment, didn't I? A bit of a panic.
A bit of a blonde moment. You couldn't get your head around it, could you?
I just couldn't see where the water was going, and although you were following the instructions to the book, there was only 3 locks.
It's 2 staircase locks, so you come in on your boat, you drop down, there is nothing between the next lock but a gate. So you open that gate and you go into the next lock and go down. And poor Fran just couldn't get your head around it. You were driving, weren't you? And I was opening up the locks, and we had our first moment.
Well, I drove into the lock, you were doing the locks, I drove in, you were about to drain the lock, and I suddenly thought I was going to get grounded. I was convinced I was going to get grounded. Called you over, said, no, this isn't right, you're going to drain this lock and leave me with no water. And you actually agreed with me for a moment.
Yeah, you got me so bamboozled myself. I thought, she's right.
I reversed back out of the lock, which actually I thought I did quite well.
Lovely reverse.
Wind was blowing the boat around, but I still managed to sort of stay in control while you, I don't know, emptied locks, filled locks, and then came back and said, I was right all along, you were wrong. So we had to start over again. But we're still smiling, weren't we, at the end of it?
Still smiling, yeah. Yeah.
Some things I just can't get. I'm not stupid, but I just can't see it. So I'll listen to you in future, darling.
But this life we're leading, that we want to be leading, of a slow pace, with nothing to do but enjoy life, hasn't quite happened yet, has it? We are toing and froing so much. It's not arduous by any means, but it's not what we want to be doing. So
I think it's quite lucky. We're quite lucky that we've got on the boat during a really cold spell. The boat's been pulled about, as you've seen in previous vlogs, and we've been living with holes in the floor and holes in the side. You know, not holes, but gaps in the lining of the boats, and it's been, you know, a little less than perfect. But we've still really enjoyed it. Then today, when the glorious weather's arrived, we can just see what better life is, even better life is ahead of us.
Yeah, even on a winter's day when the sun's shining, it'll be fabulous. But today, it has just been perfect from start to finish. And I couldn't have wished for a better birthday.
Good.
Did I tell you it was my birthday?
Is it your birthday?
It's my birthday.
Right, today, we've just come back onto the boat after having a few days at the house, and it's Stern Gland Day. So, what you doing, Rich?
Well, we've used all of that grease. It's gone down there into the stern gland to act as a waterproof barrier. It is now empty of grease, and there is 2 ways I think I'm going to attempt this, because I don't think it really matters if you've got air bubbles in there, but some people seem to think it is a problem. So I'm going to try pushing down whilst unscrewing so the grease comes up. If that doesn't work, then I'm just going to knife it in and pack it down.
I've got a nice icing bag you could have.
You're lovely. Put that on your cake. So,
and eat it.
Here it goes. Hopefully the actual process of pushing, unscrewing, sucks up the grease. But it doesn't seem to be going down much, no. Oh I don't know, it seems to be going in there.
Huh? So is it going okay?
Yeah, it seems to work actually, just by pushing down and unscrewing it in the grease, because it's got a circular plastic disc with a hole in, and yeah, it seems to work. I've just been a bit too forceful and it tilted and all the goo came out, so I'm just using a knife just to get rid of the last bit, but it just appears that is working.
Very good.
So I've got no doubt some of our kind YouTube viewers will tell me how it should be done, easier way, and a bit like when we had the ingress of water coming from the shower the other day, and I can't remember who said, well, I'd just turn off the water pump, and it's just so obvious, because you go from land life to boat life, and they're two different things completely. And on the land you'd run around the house looking for the stopcock, and that's what we did on the boat. Got Fran going underneath the bow looking for the stopcock, but just turn off the pump. Duh. So that's done, I think. A few more of those.
And after this little job, another thing that we've learned, another thing that we've achieved, we're going to either start tomorrow, do a oil change.
Yeah, the oil's looking a bit black.
So that'll be a new thing for both of us. We'll do it together and learn. And
I've never done an oil change, not even on a car, because I'm just not mechanically minded or have any inclination to want to be mechanically minded. Go on.
I did when I was 16.
Go on.
No,
You were gonna say
17. Used to do everything on my little Austin 1100.
Is that when Jesus was a boy?
Oh, thank you very much. Yes,
So there we are.
doggies, he's being so rude, isn't he? Eh? How can he be so rude to me? The dogs think there's something to eat here.
To lick the greasy knife. You want some grease? It's April the 18th, and we're promised a beautiful sunny day today, and boy do we need it. Winter has finally disappeared, we hope, and spring has been really late this year, and coming towards past the middle of April, and the trees are still bare and just showing leaves coming out now. Absolutely fantastic. Never forget just how lucky we are. Despite the power cables and pylons, this has to be the most beautiful lock setting we've yet done. It's wonderful. Fran with the muscles up ahead. I'm just taking it easy today. It's my birthday. Oh, did I tell you it was my birthday? No. Well, it is. And birthday boys can do what they like, apparently. She's complaining about the big gap that she has to step across. Come on, girl, put some muscle into it. Sun's shining, I keep saying it, but it just really warms your heart, and I think we're in for a beautiful day of it.
I've learnt a little bit of a lesson this week as well. We went back to the cottage, unpacking stuff, and as I've said before, I'm really enjoying the minimalist side of living. Minimalism and hoogie and mindfulness, whatever you want to call it. It just, to me, that's narrowboat life. Just living things, thinking about what you're doing and living on what you need. However, went back to the house, and as we're unpacking, I'm saying, oh, we need that for the boat. We need this for the boat. So we came back with a great big box of stuff, and then realised there's nowhere to put it, and all it's doing is complicating our life, because we've lived for 6 weeks on the boat without all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I've packed it all back up again, and it's all going back to the house because we don't want it.
We've got nowhere to put it in the cottage either, have we? So God knows what we're going to do.
No.
Work progress on the cottage is a bit slower than we wanted it to be, but we are heading down to Stourport now, and we're going to leave the boat there and crack on with the cottage in 2 weeks.
Yeah, try and give ourselves a deadline. We've got to get some electricians and plumbers in to do some stuff, but if we can...
Good luck with that, getting an electrician in 2 weeks.
But if we can give ourselves a deadline and start letting that out as a holiday let, then we'll get rid of the car, because that's the other real pain in the neck that we're finding, is having to go, because we've got the car with us, is going backwards and forwards to get the car. And although we love walking, we don't really want to walk along a piece of towpath that we've just...
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we're walking along back to the car, which is tomorrow will be a 4-mile walk back to the car, but it's in reverse than what we've cruised in, isn't it? So we're seeing things differently, and
I'm trying to lose a bit of weight.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. You know, I've put on too much weight over the last few years, and finding now, not sitting around watching YouTube videos, etc., and
of other boaters,
and walking, doing the locks, and not eating biscuits and cake to the extent I used to. The weight seems to be dropping, and I feel like this lifestyle will be much more healthier and better for us.
Yeah, it will.
So be it.
So I think that's it, isn't it, at the moment?
There must be something. Archie's doing well.
Oh yeah.
He's running around on his leg. He's putting some weight onto it, which he shouldn't be. So we're confining him still with what he's doing. We're letting him out on the bank, letting him have a sniff around and a little walk, and then making him come back on the boat and rest. But it's not in his nature to rest, so it's difficult for him.
One thing I have noticed as the warmer weather has arrived is that the midges seem to be appearing and little mosquitoes. I get bitten really, really badly. So I don't know if that's going to be a problem or not. I haven't heard anybody saying that's a big problem on the canals. But again, if anybody's got any foolproof ideas or any ideas they've got to avoid the mosquitoes getting in the boat on hot nights, then I'd be very appreciative of it. We're thinking of getting a mosquito net just over the bed anyway, I think, because I do get bitten really badly. But we'll see. We're going to grow lots of repellent herbs on the top of the boat and around, so hopefully that might help.
When I was a kid in the 70s, we were cruising the canals with Mum and Dad. I don't remember it being an issue, but then when you're 11 and 12, you don't remember the things like that, do you? You remember the hot sunny days and the fun, but I don't remember a problem with midges. But
you don't get bitten like I
mosquitoes.
Do, though, do you? You
No.
don't. I just get smothered in them, so.
I just get smitten.
Do you smitten with me? We found the most beautiful mooring spot. We've got a little picnic area. It's been the first day of spring, really warm, really gorgeous weather. I've got sunburn, in fact. Richie's birthday today, so he's had a lovely birthday. This is where we are. And this is where he is. Got him working on his birthday. What you doing, Rich?
Swapping the roof, my darling.
Happy birthday. So we've been meaning to clean the roof of the boat since we got it. Had a couple of beers in the pub for his birthday for lunch and had a little snooze and a rest, and then decided we'd scrub the boat. So there he is. And because tomorrow Kinder canopies are coming to cover this up for us, so we've got an extra room, hopefully somewhere that doggies might be able to chill out when they're getting under our feet. So that's today. And I think we're going to go on for a cup of tea. I don't know about his lordship, maybe a glass of wine, but there you go.
Bucket of
Beautiful
water,
evening.
please.
Oh, I've got to go. More water needed.
Had a lovely visit from my daughter Claire. Came to visit us on the boat, and we took her to the house as well. In a bit of a trouble with her though, because I didn't take any video of her driving the boat. But I think we got some
She did all the
pictures.
special makeup in the morning and everything, didn't she?
Yeah, but thanks for coming to see us, Claire. It was really appreciated.
Thank you.
Love you. Well, nothing else to say but cheers.
Till next time.